I took a pause there. Getting back to the point, which is this. So I've pointed out that the compost is not a good idea to keep near a house. I mean, it is if you enjoy being attacked by foxes and wild animals now and again. I mean, it's a fox this day, it's a bobcat the next. Who knows? We've tons of deer around, but I'm not particularly scared of them. Well, so, but to cut this fox some credit, uh, after I'd come back from the hospital with my tetanus and rabies shots, first round of rabies, which you must have to absolutely do. And by the way, it doesn't. It's not like, the old days you hear the stories of like horse needles and stuff. Forget it. It's like it's nothing. It's a tiny, skinny little needle you don't even notice. So, and I hate needles, obviously. Who does? I mean, I guess they're like people who love them, but I'm not one of them. I'm not trying to cast any shadow. People who love shoving needles all over the place. I mean, all the power to you. The side of a needle. Anyway, let's not even talk about it. The point is, when I re-examined the scene of the incident, which was a garage, I noticed that we have a number of we keep gasoline out there. We chainsaws, lawnmowers, all kinds of things. And don't worry, and don't steal them because they're all like serial numbered and we have GPS on everything and a camera. Don't even try it. But the point is, because there was a dude trying to steal it. But I went to fill up my chainsaw with, and I noticed on one of the gas. So we have like metal gas tanks. We also have those red plastic ones. And I was looking. It it I it's like it seemed rough, and I looked, and now some of these gas tanks, especially this one, actually this one really didn't have a, a I think it was actually a hole in it, like a cork in it. Some of them are pretty old. And it had like bite mark. It had bite marks around it, and the bite marks were. I didn't look this up, but they weren't mice, and the only thing they could have been skunk. Some sort of animal about that size with sharp teeth. But I I have a feeling that this fox might have been sniffing glue or sniffing gas, and that he was addicted to it, and he'd been going to sniff the gasoline. This guy was a youngster, by the way. He was a teenager. Um, when I interrupted him, my only question is, why was he stoned when he was on his way to sniff the gas? Unless he was so addicted. Now, so you can see from the video, I haven't seen it in a while because, frankly, it disturbs me. But I mean, I've seen it enough, 100 times, I'm sure. I don't need to see it again. I was there. But no, it's you can see when he runs out, like where he came out around the side, he was actually that's where the gasoline tanks are. So I just want to say that I don't think this guy had rabies. I mean, under these conditions, if I was a judge, I would say he was sniffing glue, gas. Let's call it glue because that's what we think of because we're humans. I don't think he had rabies. Now, I did have rabies shots in the whole course. And the thing is, I'll be honest with you, um, the test didn't come back. They came back ambiguous. It could have gone either way. My point is, we just have to assume he had rabies, and it doesn't really matter whether he had rabies or not. Whatever it was, you can't have animals animals attacking you for any reason of that sort. And another reason I don't think he had rabies is because he wasn't stumbling around. The guy was pretty. I mean, I live in the city. I've seen drug addicts. He was pretty intent. I don't mean that drug addicts are like intent on killing you. What I mean is that he was pretty intent in his. If we see a drug addict walking on their way to get their weed or something, I mean, like, they were destination in mind. That guy's destination was my ankle, but he wasn't stumbling all over the place. Like, if you see drug guys stumbling all over the place, you don't have to worry about them. They've already had their drugs. This guy hadn't had his drugs yet. If that guy, probably if I'd been a little bit later, like, walked really slow, give him like 30 seconds, have a couple hits off the old gas tank, it would have been a totally situation. I would have walked into a situation where the guy was like, "Hey man, you want some of these?" I think on that high humor, I will end this update.